Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about one of the episodes from the Penguins Madagascar series called Launch Time, and I can't wait to share this with you. Okay, so the episode begins when the penguins are fast asleep, but then something wakes them up, which happens to be Julian. And what he was doing, oh my goodness, I don't know why he thought he could do this, but anyway, so Julian takes some food out of the penguin's refrigerator, and Skipper's like, "That's ours, that's not yours." But that's only the beginning of the trouble Julian gives the penguins. Anyway, so later on, Julian accidentally hits, or maybe on purpose, hits Private with a golf ball. Because him and Mort were playing golf, and he hits Private with a golf ball. And there's this one part where Skipper has this golf ball that Julian threw his way, and he crushes it, which is really interesting to know that Skipper is strong enough to destroy a golf ball. But there's also an episode that reveals that he's also strong enough to break solid ice. So, wow, he's really strong. I'd really like to know how he got that strong. That's really interesting. But anyway, so later on, while Skipper and Kowalski are playing chess, the lemurs bother them again. But this time, it's, I said lemurs, not lemur, because this time it's not just Julian that's giving them problems. It's even Mort and Maurice. Because while Skipper and Kowalski are playing chess, Maurice just walks right in the middle of their game, scattering the pieces, and I'm like, really? How disrespectful is that? I mean, come on. I would think that Maurice would have a little bit more politeness or something where he wouldn't do that. That actually sounds like something Julian would do. But yeah, even more just, oh my goodness. Even more is just disrespectful in this, and I just can't really get over how disrespectful Maurice was. I just can't quite understand that. But anyway, so Skipper finally has enough of them, and he plans on going somewhere where there are no lemurs at all. And there's even this one part where Private wants to go to another zoo, and Skipper's like, "No, we live in a zoo, let's go somewhere else," which I don't blame him. It would be cool to see them, in another setting, and I kind of wish that they had been in more settings in this show. That really would have been interesting. But anyway, so yeah, Kowalski has this thing that says that there are no lemurs in Denmark, but for some reason Skipper's not allowed in Denmark, and there's an episode that reveals some of that, but I actually have not seen that episode, and so I don't really understand why Skipper was not allowed in Denmark, but from what I've read, it was for a dumb reason. But anyway, so the next place where there are no lemurs is the moon. And I don't know why the moon come up. I mean, I'm sure there's lots of other zoos around the world that don't have lemurs. And, other countries and states too, because, lemurs, or at least Julian's type of lemur, a ringtail lemur, lives in Madagascar. So I'm sure there would have been a lot more options for them. But anyway, so the moon comes up, and the penguins decide to go to the moon. That's just so funny how Skipper was that desperate to get away from Julian to where he would go to the moon. That just cracks me up. But I don't really blame him because, there's this one part where he's like, look, this is our house. You're being disrespectful. In fact, you're just barging in. Get out. So yeah, I can't blame Skipper for being annoyed. I mean, who does that? Other than Julian Montmaurice. Anyway, so they go to the moon. And, well, that is, they think they go to the moon. They go to the moon in their mind, that is. And, when they land, Private discovers a cat named Max, who's this real scruffy alley cat. And when he sees the penguins, he's like, they're birds that can't fly away, because it's revealed that Max isn't good at catching birds, and, he's starving, so he plans on eating the penguins. So he takes the penguins in his house, and I really think that, if the penguins had realized that he was going to eat them, that they would have beat him to a pulp if they had realized that, which I really don't understand why they didn't realize that to begin with. I mean, with Skipper being, paranoid and distrusting of others, I really don't get why he didn't suspect something. There's a lot of things about Skipper that I just don't get at all. But there is one part where Skipper tells Max that they come in peace, then he adds, for now. Which I'm guessing he meant, if you don't bother us, we won't bother you. If you bother us, we'll bother you. Which, it's fair enough, but still, I'm kind of like, why did you say that? But, other than that, I don't really get why Skipper would say that, other than, him being paranoid and distrusting. But since he's like that, and they think that they're on the moon, and they think that Max is a moon cat, I really don't understand why Skipper didn't suspect something, or, didn't think that Max might have not been able to be trusted. So, yeah, I really don't get that at all. I'm telling you, this Skipper really has, I feel like he has a couple, layers to him. In some episodes, he's, just absolutely paranoid, while others he's not, and just, I don't know, he's just quite the mystery to me. So anyway, they crack me up, can you tell? So anyway, Max tries to eat the penguins, and of course, they don't suspect a thing, oddly enough. And there's this one part where he tries to stick Private in a microwave. He tells him it's a teleportation device, and Kowalski tells him that there aren't any, which, it's really weird that Kowalski would say that, because there's one episode where he makes a truth serum, and he's made a lot of other things like that. There's one episode where he makes this watch that stops time, and he even makes a time machine later on. Now, not unless he, didn't know that he could make those kind of things when this episode took place, which that's possible. And I guess that's really the only explanation, because why else would Kowalski think that, judging by these other things that he's made that are similar. But anyway, I'll talk more about those other inventions of his I mentioned when I talk about those episodes. But anyway, so he tries to stick Private in the microwave. That doesn't work. And when Kowalski mentions how kind Max is being to them, Skipper realizes that he needs to be nicer to Julian and give him another chance. So the penguins are going to leave, and Max is not happy about this. But Skipper gives him food, which is what Max really wanted to begin with. And Max becomes friends with the penguins at this point. And so the penguins leave, and when they get back, they discover the lemurs are trying to take their TV. They snuck into the penguins' headquarters, and there was this crate on top of them, and they're trying to push the TV to their habitat. It's just, oh my goodness. Oh boy. And at first, Skipper is okay with them, but oddly enough, when he looks up and discovers that they didn't go to the moon, because he sees Max standing on top of a building waving to them, and they realize that they didn't go to the moon, and then they get mad at Julian and try to beat him up. And I guess they did that, because, one, he took their TV. Two, I believe that they were, disappointed with, the fact that they didn't go to the moon. And also, I think that they were also probably, kind of disappointed in Max for letting them believe that they were on the moon when they were not. So, yeah, I think the penguins were probably, one, again, mad at Julian for taking their TV, and, I think that's probably why they changed their tune so quick. I mean, it's not just Skipper that changes his tune. All of them do. Now, I think that this last part, where they get mad at Julian, I think would have made more sense, if it was really shown that, they had become friends with Max, and then once they had realized that he had tricked them, letting them believe that they were on the moon, I feel like if they had, shown that bonding with Max, like them befriending him, and then when they realized that they didn't go to the moon, I could see how that could really, explain Skipper and the others' change of attitude, because maybe they jumped on Julian out of, one, him taking their TV, second, them being hurt that Max tricked them. I really feel like if they got deeper into that, and this episode would have been longer and really showed their friendship with Max, I really think that would have been better, because, this also was another opportunity for Skipper to be nicer to Julian, but if they didn't want to go in that direction, they could have just shown Max, really befriending the penguins, and then them discovering that he tricked them. So, yeah, I really think that would have been better. And also, there's another episode where they help Max, and it also would have been interesting that, if he had, bonded with them and then them realized that he tricked them, and then being hurt and angry by that, by him tricking them, I really think that would have also made that episode better, because they wouldn't be willing to help Max in that episode when he needed help. But, Private being the sweet little guy that he is, I think that, that really would have been nice for him to be like, sure, I was mad and hurt too, but I think we should forgive him and help him. I think that would have been so much better in that episode as well. So, yeah. And, I see that there actually are a few episodes that definitely could have been better if the plot was adjusted and it was longer. But, overall, this is a good episode, and, there are other good episodes as well. But, yeah, I think that with some adjustments to some of the episodes, I think that they would have been a lot better. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and stay tuned for more. Bye!